All right, y'all. So I know it's been a little bit since I've posted, and forgive the stuff in the background. I'm like re-cleaning my whole room. So we are about 6 or 7 weeks. Actually, I think we're almost 8 weeks because today is the 22nd, 23rd, and I had my surgery on the 24th. So we're about 8 weeks post-op now. Woohoo! And things are going pretty good, all considered. The minus fighting with my insurance, they're not covering anything, so I'm paying all this out of pocket. The hearing itself is good. Is it 100 times better than it was? Absolutely. My biggest thing though is, I do altitude change if you guys have been following along. And the allergies have been kicking my behind recently because it's spring and, everything is blooming and there's pollen everywhere and it's just kind of a nightmare. So there's been a couple mornings where I've woken up, and when I have allergies, typically my eyes don't run a whole lot. The main way I feel it is I get like a stuffy head, like clogged sinuses kind of thing. As you can hear, I haven't even left my house yet today, and I'm just kind of stuffy in general. That's been an issue with my ear. The combination of that, and then if there's barometric pressure changes in the area, I still have issues with that. So basically the other morning, I wasn't feeling 100%. I was at like 90%. I was fine, just like I am today. A little bit stuffy, not too bad. But it was raining, or threatening to. It was raining. It was actually raining. And by raining, I mean there was water falling from the sky. Like, it wasn't like downpour or anything like that. And so heading up the mountain, because there was that pressure change, not only in elevation, but also the barometric pressure change from it not raining in the valley to it definitely sprinkling and sometimes raining kind of hard in the lake. My ear had a hard time with that elevation change, and it took a little bit for it to adjust. And then again, I think it was last week when I went up there, I was having some allergy issues, stuffy head kind of thing, and again, it was difficult. It almost reminded me a little bit of when I used to do the drive before I had surgery, because it took a long, long time for me to clear it, and it did become a little bit painful. But, all considered, if I'm looking from almost day one when I had my injury to when I started working at the lake, that was November, I want to say. Yeah. I think November I started volunteering. April I was hired. November I was going twice a week. April I was going 4 times a week. So, I mean, if we're comparing from almost a year ago, end of July of 2021 to now, after surgery, I'm a million times better. And if everybody felt this way after this procedure, I would 100% recommend it. Like, absolutely go have this procedure done. Yes, it's a little bit expensive, but my quality of life has improved because of it. Again, I know my hearing, not necessarily my hearing, my ability to clear and, have this ear and this whole side of my head be 100% is never going to happen. I know this and I understand this. But the improvement, the fact that I am able to go to the lake without pain for the most part, the fact that now I don't have to think about clearing my ears anymore, my body now does it on its own again. All these different things, it's literally changed my life, again, for the better this time. I have been cleared to dive already. I was cleared about 2 or 3 weeks post-op, because I was feeling great, feeling fine. I have not dove yet, though, due to my work schedule, and then it's just been busy, busy, busy. I'm a full-time student. I work 35 to 38 hours a week. I attempt to maintain a social life. I attempt to maintain a relationship. So there's just a lot going on. My goal is to dive. I'm hoping I can get in maybe in July, hopefully, which will be exciting. I have talked to the dive center that I went to originally. It's under new ownership, new staff, all that kind of stuff. And they are willing to start me in a pool again, which is really, really what I wanted, because I don't want to just go out into Lake Tahoe and be panicked again and be nervous and scared and not okay. And then I'm, there's more of a risk there. At the pool, you're maybe 10 to 13 feet down. We're at the lake, depending on where we go, because they were going to take me somewhere different than where I had my accident, which is fine with me. But because I don't know the spots, I don't know the grades, I don't know, is it drop off, is it gradual? I don't know all these things, so that makes me a little nervous to go again. I have talked to my dive buddy, and she's totally down to dive with me again this year, which is exciting. And then, I can always dive with that dive shop. They have tours and all that kind of stuff. And then I can do the private lesson for the pool. They're super willing to work with me, which is nice, because when I walked in, I kind of just fire hosed them with, so under the last ownership, this is what happened, fire hose. But they took it really well. They took it in stride. They understood where I was coming from. Understood that I was scared, because the first and only time I've really ever dove, it was like 2 days of open water and 2 days of pool. I was significantly injured to the point I needed surgery. So, I still need to figure out a couple of things with them, as far as, when and all that kind of stuff. But, I think the biggest mistake that I made originally, and I blame myself for this one, because a good friend of mine, actually a good friend of my stepmom, he's a big hoorah honcho at Dan, Diver Alert Network, and he was like, hey, you should make sure they have student insurance, because it's free, and if anything happens, blah blah blah. And I didn't do that, and here I am now. So I want to verify with them before I dive again with them that they do have student insurance, and if not, I'm going to try to get it on my own. And so it's just one of those things where I don't want to make the same mistake twice. So if you guys dive or are interested in scuba diving or anything like that, Diver Alert Network, Dan, student insurance. So you don't end up like me, or even, I hate to say this, but if you do, at least it's covered. Because that was my biggest issue, is I've probably, excluding the surgery, put, thousands of dollars into just, appointment after appointment after appointment after appointment. I got my bills from Sacramento. My insurance didn't necessarily cover anything, but they adjusted it down to $600 for me to talk to a doctor for about 15 minutes and have a head CT, which was nice. Yeah, so that's just definitely something that I would recommend, is if you do end up diving or want to dive or anything like that, get that student insurance. But yeah, everything is going, pardon the pun, everything is going swimmingly at this point. I have hiccups. I'm never going to be 100%. I'm never going to be back to the way I was, which hurts and kind of sucks. Because I'm never going to be quite right. I'm never going to be the same. Things are never going to be the same or how they were prior to my accident. It's never going to happen. And that is a hard pill, even now, for me to swallow, It's hard for me to be like, yeah, you know how you used to be able to do that, no problem. You did it, all the time since I was a child, because I grew up here, and I love to fly and all those things, and now it's a little more nerve-wracking. Honestly, I still have not flown since my accident. I have not dove yet. So there's a lot of things that I still have to try again before saying, no, I'm not going to do this. So I appreciate all of you guys who have been following along on this ridiculous roller coaster that I've been on. I'm still happy to answer any questions, and if anything changes, absolutely, I will come on here and let people know what's going on, which is weird because this is the internet. But in general, I am very, very happy with the procedure. It has turned out well for me, and I want this to be not necessarily inspiration. I don't think that's the right word. But there's so many negative things out there on the internet, and there's so many negative stories, and there's so many, this didn't work for me, why would I waste my money on it? And just so many things that drag you down and make you question it, that I was hoping to be the person. I'm raw, I record this in one take in my bedroom. Like, I wanted this to be real and from the heart, and just a human talking to another human about their personal experiences and what has gone on. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. It's not a problem. But I thank you guys so much. I know I'm not getting views because I don't really care about views. It's no big deal. But I hope that I can be that little positive light that this is what you're thinking about. And if you've had something similar happen to me, something similar as what happened to me, that this may work for you, and this hopefully will get your life back to as normal as possible. How about that? All right, y'all. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.